Hey guys, so I want to talk about a topic that I think maybe people in this generation maybe need to hear. Maybe I'm no different, maybe I'm just a hypocrite, maybe I don't have any credible words to say. I'm just sharing my thoughts here, as most people do on the internet. So it's really tough in this generation to sustain yourself, whether that's if you want to sustain your family, future family on one income, or try and just buy a house, or kind of get started on your life. And as someone who's 18 years old, I'm looking at all these things in the future and I feel like it's a monumental task to climb. There's such a big picture of just being able to sustain myself, let alone independently. And it's tough. And I think a lot of things cause that, whether right now, I mean, we're in a pretty good economy, but the issue is, well, not really, but we're in a economy where investing is a good thing to do. We're seeing a pretty good market in a lot of things, like either the stock market in the last couple of years, or more collectible items, just trading card, like all the stuff I talk about, right? We're in a generation where there's a lot of successful independence that is being pushed on the internet. So there's like successful YouTubers everywhere. There's people that make a living doing something that is entertaining. They publish themselves on the internet. There's people that have businesses that do advertising on social media. There's, people like large influencers like Andrew Tate had a big movement going on, or other individuals. Even Toji has a following of people, whether that's exercise or whatever. But the thing is, there's these large, rich people, influencers, that they've done great things. They've made a life for themselves. And that inspires other people in this generation. I feel like there's a push back to the whole like own your own business culture coming on in the last in this just generation of people. It's like everyone wants to make it out of the rat race, get ahead in life, have all this money, have all these things. And I feel like the premise of that is good. I think it stems from a heart of wanting to sustain yourself, wanting to be successful, wanting to prove something to the world. And I don't think that is a bad mentality to have. I think that even myself wants to be successful in some regard and push forward in life, whether that's the family that I want to have, the kids I want to raise, the people that I want to influence, the money that I want to have to be able to have freedoms in this life and help other people, or whatever. We all have those desires, and I don't think it's an unhealthy thing to have them. But I think people are so focused on this giant picture that is manifested in their brain from our culture that it's hard for them to get started. It's hard for them to kind of clear their heads and make calculated decisions. I would argue that the biggest thing for this generation that they need to do, including myself, is stop worrying as much about having all these amazing things, doing all these things, and focus individually on small decisions and small steps up to what you want in life. I personally want a family. I want a wife and kids. I want to be able to raise that family well. I want to be able to sustain them on one income so that my kids can have great opportunities. That's what I want in life. That's what I want to pursue. I want to also pursue physical, spiritual, relational, and financial success. I want all of those things in ways so that I can help other people attain that. I am a professional Rubik's Cube solver. Professional as in I was pretty good in my state. I wasn't necessarily top level or anything, but I can solve a Rubik's Cube in like 7 or 8 seconds. And sorry about the lore drop. But yeah, I did that, and I loved it when people came up to me at competitions and would ask me questions. I would get a lot of people where I was better than them at most events or most things you can compete in. And so I was able to coach them and just show them things. And I have a passion for that. I love being able to just show people things I've learned and talk about them and engage with them, which is why I have this channel, because I'm obsessed with investments. I'm obsessed with trying to save money, obsessed with trying to invest in certain things that I have passion in. Like, it's not just about the trading cards to me. It's about, like, that's one thing I talk about a lot on this channel. It's about the love for what I do. I love doing it. And maybe that is because everyone is saying that the bull market is going crazy with Pokemon and whatever I'm investing in, right? The bull markets are going crazy, but people are just, I don't know. There's a thing for me where I think it's more important to consistently make an effort every day to make a good decision that slowly builds you towards something you want to do, rather than having this like 2-week crazy phase of going all. It's about the consistency and going in the right direction. The way I like to view it for people this age and just life in general is it's either up or down. It's a railway. You either are going north or you're going south, and the goal is to go north, to keep going up, right? And the thing is, we're going to have periods in our life where we either sin or we mess up or we do these things, and we're going to turn around on that track. We're going to go south. We're going to go away from what we want. Everyone does that. We all make mistakes. It's something that you cannot fear because it'll consume you. You're going to make mistakes, and don't sulk on them. Learn from them and don't make the same mistake again. If you're turning back and going south, what you should be doing is the goal is to turn around as fast as you can, realize what you've done wrong, realize where you're going in life, where your trajectory is heading, and repent and move forward and continue to go up in your life. And I think that is much more important to be focusing on than, oh, I need all these Bugattis, I need to make it out of the rat race, which is partially why I would argue there's a big, I mean, has anyone noticed that there's a giant gambling epidemic? Like, not influencers are pushing it, but like sports betting apps are literally dominating markets and influencer markets, and they're targeting influencers and they're running ads. If there was an ad ran on this video, it's very possible it would be like Prize Picks or freaking Kalshi or something like that, right? And I think part of it stems from a young culture that's trying to get ahead. They're trying to do everything they can to get ahead because it's hard. It's hard to sustain yourself. It's hard in this generation to be able to sustain your family, provide for people, get a house, move forward in life like we have in past generations. And I'm not saying that old people giving advice is like bad or something, because they also had a struggle in their own generation. We all have our own challenges that we're working through in the period of life, in the phase of history that we're in. We are witnessing history as we live. The stock market, the crazy growth, that is the craziest growth we've seen in that probably ever in the 5-year margin. Like, it's ridiculous. We are literally watching history, and you have to learn and adapt and grow with that and understand that, yes, if there's something you want, consult other people for advice that have made it work and find your own thing because you're in a different time period. You don't want to say that, oh, these people who've succeeded are not like me because they had this and that. That is a excuse that's holding you back from doing things. If you see someone that has what you want, ask them how they got it. Learn from them. That's what I think. Partially, people do have that incentive in mind because they see people like those business influencers that interview billionaires and see what they did to grow in their life. And I think people are interested in seeing, like, how did you get that? They see someone who's successful, like, oh, how did you do that? But a lot of times they don't actually, have the guts or have the risk capacity or have the faith or the grind to do what that person did. And so I'm sitting here as an 18-year-old that has a lot of life ahead of me, assuming that I'm healthy. You never know. Oops, knocked something down. You never really know with life in general. But I have presumably a lot of time ahead of me. And so I have the ability and have the time to make consistently good decisions that will get me further and further slowly. That's why people also don't want to invest their money in things like stocks and stuff, and people are all obsessed with the trading card aspect. I love it. I see these growths, and I've been obsessed with collecting my entire life. I have collections of so many things that I've had and siphoned through over the years. And I'm not saying I'm any different than anyone else that views that as like something that could be sustainable, not in the current market cycle we're in, but I do think it's something that we'll still appreciate. And so I'm all in for that, and I like having it. But even the S&P and 401ks and stuff, like, a lot of people are like, I don't want to do that because it's not going to do much. It's not exciting. It's not getting ahead in 2 seconds. And that's the thing, is that's not what it's about. Like, I've been posting about this on Instagram, my personal Instagram. It's like, it's not about getting rich fast. It's about getting rich slow. And I know that doesn't seem as exciting as mouth frothing or whatever, but like, the thing is, something I would also argue is that if you're given $15 million, you're going to blow through it and pretty much ruin your life in a pretty fast amount of time. But if you spent your entire life growing that money, the way that you treat that money is different. It's just, you have an appreciation for what it took to get that and how sacred that money is, not for yourself, but what you've been able to do for yourself and other people around you. A lot of people will like internalize that money and just blow it all on themselves because they have no appreciation for what they have. And I would argue getting rich slowly not only gives you money and like gives you success, but it gives you, it makes you wiser. It gives you this amazing ability to help people, this amazing ability to be wise and have wisdom and do all these things. Most successful people financially are also successful in most other areas in life. There's a big difference between people that have spent 5 years at a craft to get to where they are and people that have hardly tried or barely spent any time on something. It's about the mindset. It's about the consistent effort to wake up and do something that you have a passion for and that you have a faith in and that you're willing to grow in yourself. And even things that have proven to be successful, like working out or being healthy or making good decisions or being nice to people or pursuing God, whatever your cup of tea is, those things in life that are generally have good outcomes if you pursue them for your life, they're healthy to do. They're consistent. Those are things that are, once you do those things and you consistently make an effort to do them, they grow you in every area, essentially. So yeah, I just think there's a massive epidemic of gambling, of people that want to make it out of the rat race. And it's sad because their heart has a good intent, I feel like. And I would even argue in some capacities, I've had that numerous times, and I still kind of do, where it's like, oh, I need to do all these things. I need to grow in all these areas. And I do. But it's not about waking up and like trying to change your life in like 2 months, 2 weeks. It's about time. It's about consistent effort. And so the earlier you can catch on to this train and see this type of advice, and see that, not saying that I'm someone who's good for advice. I'm an 18-year-old. Don't take my advice, right? Right? Is it good advice? I don't have credibility, right? I'm just sharing what I feel on the internet. And so I think like for young people, it's like the faster that they wake up and realize that they need to stop trying to gamble everything away and stop trying to be the people that do have some want for success, they need to wake up and realize that they just need to be a good person and slowly make consistent efforts towards what they want in life by doing small things, or just consistency and staying dedicated, because it's not about these like 2 week explosions of trying to grind like crazy to make it out of the rat race. It's about waking up and saying, I want to be a good person today, making an effort to help people in your life. Be responsible with your money every single day. Be responsible with your sins, the things that you need to grow in, your addictions or whatever. It's making a consistent effort to learn and improve on those things and sticking with it. And I think that's much more important than the big picture, because I think that ultimately leads to the big picture. I don't think fixing a problem or growing at something should be the main goal. I think you should be pursuing other things to help with that. Now that's my opinion. I don't blame people. I don't blame young people or myself for wanting desperately to do everything in my power to get ahead, because it's hard. This life, this economy, this situation makes it very hard for a single person to take care of everyone. It is. And so I don't blame anyone. I just think so many 18-year-olds have so much time in their life. There are 25-year-olds that are still struggling with all these things, trying to get a house and all these things. I think if you're an 18-year-old watching this, like myself, making the video, start saving for a house now. Start making efforts to pour your time and your effort into, and I'm saying not everyone can do that. I'm saying everyone's in a different situation, but focus on it. Like most people that get mad at me, for example, for having like a decent bit of savings, don't understand that, okay, maybe I don't have as many things I have to spend money on, thankfully, but at the same time, I'm still not blowing money at the levels that they're blowing it. Like even if you did make a consistent effort to be more responsible with your money, like I still would probably, let's say we had the same situation, I probably still would have more money than them. But this is just an anecdote. I'm sure there's many people who are better than me at pretty much everything, but like actually everything, even speed keywords faster. Anyway, guys, stay the course in life. Make life situations and life choices every day that'll help you slowly grow to your goal. You're 18 years old. Don't expect to achieve what you want when you're 19 years old. Expect to grow and consistently add to your life and learn from your mistakes for your entire life. And once you get to your 30s and 40s, not only will you have these amazing things, but you're going to appreciate them more. You're not going to do stupid things, and you're not going to ruin your life with them. You're going to appreciate what you have, and you're going to have a life where you don't have a midlife crisis. And that's what you want to do. You want to wake up every day and continue to pursue growth slowly and consistently, and not make dumb impulsive decisions. And I'm not perfect at that either. But the second that you realize this and you understand this, you need to consistently make an effort to do it. Everyone who's 18, they have 7 years until they turn 25. 25 is still considered young, I would argue. That's still a lot of, 7 years from 18. That's crazy. That's so much time. I mean, we were talking about NFTs 5 years ago. Like, it doesn't feel like a long time ago, but it also feels like, holy crap, the world has changed so much. And that's what I'm trying to argue. You guys have time. Use it. If you save a little bit for 7 years, you'll have a boatload of money and you're not going to be inclined to blow it all in one sitting either. So anyway,